How we doing, everyone? Avi Weisfogel coming to you today with another Happiest Dentist tip. So they say you can't make it in a business unless you understand the mindset of those people in the business. So let's go through a couple quick rules that you may or may not know. Number one, dentists can't diagnose patients for sleep apnea. We can't make the diagnosis. We also can't prescribe an oral appliance. For both of these tasks, we need physicians. How are you able to work with physicians unless you start to understand the mindset of physicians? So let's put you in the mindset of a physician for a second, and then maybe we'll get somewhere. People went to medical school. Certainly, if you went to medical school back when my dad went to medical school, you went because you were going to be a rich doctor. Those are no longer the days. Here's how healthcare works, right? So Medicare, which is the main insurance for everybody 65 or older. Medicare does an evaluation every single year of the procedures that have been utilized in bills. And they looked at the ones that have a spike in usage or the ones that are utilized the most, and they slash the reimbursement. Sometimes they slash the reimbursement as much as 5/6 of the amount. So imagine if your crown fee is $1,000, and they just slashed it by 5/6, and now you're making less than $200 a crown. How would you guys feel? Personally, I would be pissed off. For me, I'd be pissed enough to say, hey, I'm leaving this industry, which is kind of what I did. I went into sleep medicine instead. I used what I had learned and what I've been able to accomplish to push myself into a different part of being a dentist. Turns out you didn't even need to be a dentist to do that part. Little known facts. Anyways, getting back to the physicians, they have their fees being slashed. Right now, you have to see 6 times the amount of patients to get the same gross that you did 20 years ago or so. So imagine if all of a sudden you took your schedule, multiplied it by 6, and had the same exact gross. Again, how would you start thinking? Me personally, it would drive me crazy. Hence, physicians, when you go out and meet them, they tend to be harried, maybe a little bit upset that this is a profession they chose. Now, if you chose to be a doctor because you have a passion for it, by all means, go for it. Follow your dreams, follow your passions. But a lot of people chose to go into medicine because they thought it was going to provide them with the best living. Turns out that it might have for a while, but certainly no longer does. And there is something that happens in almost any industry where people assume that whatever is going to go on forever. So if you were making millions in the 90s, it would stand to reason that you should be making even more come inflation 20 years later. Not the case. How did it happen? Insurance companies took over. I remember I was a young dentist, 25 years old, just had opened my first practice, and in walks a representative from United Healthcare, and this representative tells me, you should sign up for our plan. It'll bring patients in your door. And I said, yeah, you know what? I thought about it coming into practices, and I didn't want to be the guy who signs up for all the different insurance plans, but I wish you nothing but the best. I was a baby. Apparently, by the way, I looked exactly the same then as I do now. So he said, you know what? You seem like a nice guy, and I feel bad for you because 20 years from now, you're going to be out of business. Now, listen, he was right. I no longer do dentistry. Granted, it was a choice, but I no longer do dentistry. Was it because I didn't sign up for United Healthcare, or was it because I chose to do things differently? I was a fee-for-service dentist who was very heavy into advertising. I wanted to do full mouth rehab cases and implants, and that's what I advertised for. I thought about slashing my fees, and I said, I don't work this hard just to have somebody come in and set my fees for me. And that's what happened to the medical industry. So before you start thinking, oh my God, these doctors don't get it, they don't send me patients, they don't even screen their patients for sleep apnea, realize the mindset of what's going on. Now, if you approach someone in general, for any kind of reason, there is usually a thought that goes into it. So someone walks into your office, any rep walks into your office. First off, do they get to meet with you? Do they get to come hang out in your office? Or do they typically meet your front desk, hand off whatever folder they came in with and leave, and then that folder gets thrown in the garbage? That's what usually happens. But imagine walking into a doctor's office and saying, hey, you got patients with sleep apnea, send them over to me, I'll take great care of them. Meanwhile, they're thinking the following: what's in it for me? Right? I don't remember which one of my mentors in the past said they all listen to the same radio station, WIIFM, the what's in it for me radio station. So it's not that this is a bad thing here, guys. The key is trying to put yourself in that exact mindset and then thinking of a different alternative. How is it that I'm going to help out this guy? How can I help him rather than just trying to extract something and bring it back? In order to do so, get inside the mind of a physician. This is all part of what we teach at the Dental Sleep MBA course. Preview course is coming soon to a city near you. I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you for watching.